Hey there everyone, and welcome to Atlantic Canada's only video game show, bringing you all the best of the Atlantic Canadian gaming scene. This is The Game Code. I'm your host, Stephanie Pelley, and we've got a fully packed episode for you today. We're in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia to check out one of the biggest fighting game tournaments in the region. This is the High Tide Throwdown. We'll let you know what it is about this tournament that attracts competitors from all over the Atlantic provinces. Microsoft has finally announced their plans for a next-generation console with the reveal of the Xbox One. We're hosting a roundtable discussion to review the announcement and look at all the hits, misses, and what we might expect from Xbox at E3. And Ian and Blake are back delving even deeper into the world of MOBAs, this time to show basic mechanics and playstyles. So make sure to stick around for that towards the end of the show.
Line with great offense here with an early life lead. Oh, you gotta watch that. It's so nasty when you can spend meter on that to come back down on the other side.
Very
great
nice.
Armor, ground bounce. Ryan looking super strong in this.
Absolutely.
There we go.
He's
very
hungry.
nice.
So we're at High Tide Throwdown 2013. It's awesome. This is the biggest turnout ever for any maritime major. We've got people from Newfoundland here. We've got people from New Brunswick, PEI. Yarmouth is here for the first time, so really excited to have so many, great people here. The community is awesome.
We usually have I'd say about 4 major tournaments every year, and this is one of them. 2 of them are at Fight for Infinity. I think one of them is at High Tide, and one of them is something called Low Tide. So this is one of our big tournaments, and I haven't seen a turnout like this at any of them recently.
Well, we're here in Halifax playing some fighting games. They call me the Street Fighter Dad.
Games!
That's JD, our resident psycho. Yeah, I guess we run tournaments every couple months, and we have a weekly meeting every Sunday at Westside Charlie's. But we're in the back every Sunday, cranking out Marvel, AE, and every fighting game imaginable.
This is my second one. I was at Low Tide last year, which that was my first tournament. Awesome time. This one, twice as good, twice as many people, and these tournaments, fighting games, the fighting game community is the best community I've ever been a part of.
We've been growing the maritime fighting game community for about 2.5 years. We met up with the New Brunswick guys a couple years ago, probably about 2.5, and we were playing 2 or 3 games at those events, but today we've got 8 games, and the scene's never been bigger. The game developers are releasing more and more games, so it is getting more popular. Esports is becoming a bigger thing, so it's really great for all of us to just enjoy the genre.
Oh, car crush. Car crush with the hard car.
So what draws you to fighting games? Like why fighting games over maybe another kind of game?
I guess I grew up playing baseball, and I really like the competitive atmosphere. But in baseball, you're on a whole team, and there's sometimes where you're sitting on the bench and you have no effect on the game whatsoever, and you get your one time to shine. That's it. In a fighting game, it's most of the time one-on-one, so it's purely my skill versus his skill, and may the best man win.
I love the aspect of one-on-one. There's like a lot of team games, like League of Legends is really popular, and I play that a lot too, but it's a 5v5 game, so it's not just you. You can't win the game by yourself, and that's fun too. But fighting games, it's all the reads you make, and it's how quick your reactions are and what you're thinking versus what your opponent. And when you can predict what your opponent's going to do and react accordingly, that is a great feeling, and I got addicted right away.
Fighting games, there's nothing else like them. It's one-on-one. It's you against your opponent. You're just playing your opponent. The meta game is very easy to see, and you know your strengths and your disadvantages with the characters, so there's just nothing else like it. It's like chess, but you're making so many decisions so quickly that's why everybody gets excited. When something huge happens, it's just so spontaneous, so in the moment. There's just no other rush like it.
It looks like
Just Incredible is your winner of Injustice at High Tide Throwdown 2013.
Playing in person is 100% better 100% of the time. I mean, half the time we have better connections to people out in Europe than we do in Vancouver. You can't even get the same connection within your own country.
Yeah.
So, or even I'm trying to play John down the street and just can't seem to get a good connection. So, and this is critical because when you have a laggy match, you're trying to do tight one frame lengths, and any kind of lag will ruin that.
Everything's measured in frames. So in 1 second, there's 60 frames, and you're making decisions that can be based on 2 or 3 frames. So you really have to have that latency. Like every monitor that you see in the room right now is like an Evo monitor, is what we call it. It's what they use, the biggest one in the world. They're the lowest latency monitors you can get. If you played on a regular TV, none of the guys in the room would be able to perform right now. We're all just, you need to have that level of precision, or you're just going to not be able to do your combos, and there's nothing more frustrating. And it just makes people so angry playing online. Some games have better netcode than others, and some games are less reliant on it, but all around, you need to have the lowest little amount of latency possible.
The tournaments are important though. It gets everyone together. It's a way different feeling when you're playing side by side. You get a whole different experience and a whole lot of nerves too. Because playing online, it doesn't matter if you lose, you just jump right back in. Now there's money on the line. You want to prove your stuff. I have a bounty on my head by John Quinn. So whoever eliminates me from the tournament will get an extra $50. So that's another bonus for that game. John Quinn, for being a bounty hunter, you're not hunting me at all. You're getting people to do your dirty work. That is very unprofessional. I was expecting a StarCraft rematch. I'm confident I can beat you, even with a handicap if I need it. So if you want to go down to that again, we will, and I will embarrass you. I will make your cats never look at you again.
Okay, punish.
Yes.
And Hideo is the champion.
Ladies blue continuing shift extend champion, Hideo.
So the best place to find out more information about the fighting games is on Facebook. There's fighting game communities all over Facebook. There's the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Halifax, Street Fighter Halifax, Fight for Infinity page is where a lot of the action takes place. But if you just look on Facebook, contact any of the guys in the Ralston community. We can show you the ropes. Anybody in the HRM, we do fight nights on Tuesday, and we stream the brackets. Like if you tune in, twitch.tv/Ralston install, you can find out everything you want to know.
And he gets it.
Oh, he gets it!
He got it! It's not enough. Oh, it's so close. Strange has very limited options here. He got the counter!
It's okay, Mo, it's good!
You're still alive. Oh man, he can still that it again. He cannot throw projectiles. Oh, there it is.
Camo had it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Just Incredible has taken the tournament.
As we all know, Microsoft has officially announced their answer to the next generation of consoles with the Xbox One. This was done via an online media event to highlight the capabilities of the new device, along with a high-level view of where Microsoft intends to position the Xbox platform. Now, one thing from this announcement was very clear. Microsoft intends to make the Xbox the home entertainment hub where all media, be it games, movies, or television, integrates through a central device. And this is a bold strategy and certainly one worth discussing. So joining us is a familiar face to the show, Adam Morehouse from LAGTV, as well as Mike Sharp, GameCode staffer. Welcome, guys. So I just want to get started on kind of a high-level overview of some thoughts on the announcement. I mean, for me, they're definitely hitting their quotas for using the words content and experience, and they had the stereotypical slide of all of the game developers that they're currently working with. But what do you think, Adam, just to get things started? Was this kind of what you anticipated from the announcement?
Yeah, I mean, I had multiple discussions with people beforehand just trying to guess at what's actually going to be showing up, and I knew they weren't going to talk about games. They already said they weren't going to talk about games, so I didn't get disappointed like some people did when that didn't happen. I figured that they were going to talk about the actual specs of the console and probably in great detail about all the fancy services and everything that they were going to provide. So it was almost exactly what I expected. Now, they made a couple of PR blunders that I didn't actually think that they were going to, but beyond that, it was pretty much bang on with what I was expecting.
Mike, what about you?
Yeah, it seemed like it was a shorter announcement than the PlayStation one, so there wasn't as much to be excited about, and there obviously wasn't much time to elaborate. I don't know, there's nothing really there to get excited for. You've got a box, you've got some services that we already have, you've got a camera that looks at me and will listen to me whenever I say something. Like, all right, cool. I can't be excited about it yet because I have no idea what it is.
Does everyone feel that way?
I don't know what happened. I watched an hour and I'm like, okay, cool. There's this big black box that's got a camera and it's looking at me, and I can play Call of Duty. That's it. That's all that happened in an hour, and I'm not excited about it. I mean, now everyone was complaining with the PlayStation. We never got to see the console. We never got to see the console. Now we've seen the Xbox. I like Sony's approach way better, way better.
I mean, we could probably talk for half an hour about the Call of Duty dog, but we're not going to do that. Maybe we'll do it later. I don't know. But when you think about, you're always bringing in like your celebrity endorsements. You got your Steven Spielberg. I mean, they had a ton of celebrities from the sports industry there. Do you think, is it important for a console to kind of show who they're partnered with for this kind of thing?
Yes and no. I mean, what was it the last time around? The E3 standard now is to, especially since Microsoft started doing it, they started bringing out all these random people. Usher did his thing and everything, and everybody, and people were kind of like,
why are they here?
Some people got excited, and some people were just kind of like, they weren't even sure if it was the person there that they thought that they were seeing, and I don't think it actually helped sell anything. It might have impressed some girlfriends at home that were watching with boyfriends, slaving to watch this thing. I don't think it actually made a huge difference. It certainly isn't, in my eyes, going to sell a bunch of consoles because Usher got up and did a sweet dance.
And that's the other thing. I mean, this announcement was put on Spike TV, so you had to make it television friendly. So you have to give a very high level approach. So any of the real questions were like, hey, what's going to happen in next gen? They're not going to get answered because they have to make this impression to, like, the mothers at home that are still going to call it your Nintendo. That's really what's going to happen there.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back after this with more on the Xbox One.